Hello guys, how you doing? Welcome back to the Sim Shack. I'm taking a look today at a little game called We the Revolution. It's on a great sale at the moment, 75% off, just £4.18. This game came out in 2019, so it's not a new game. But I saw some snippets of it on Steam, and I was intrigued. So I reached out to the developers and said, you know, would you be interested in a gameplay review? And they said yes. So here we are. We're going to take a look. You can tell right from this opening menu that, yeah, let's say political intrigue. And in today's current standings in Britain, I think that's something that we all need to be abreast of or be aware of. So we've got fiction and survival. Survivor is a variant of the main game, focusing on the court trials, in which the goal is to keep the main character alive and work for as long as possible. This is the description for the fiction mode. Let's just do this then. I have no idea how this game plays. Hopefully I can pick it up really quite quickly. We'll just see how long I can survive. In the court corridor, a young, very attractive woman bumped into me. She was wearing an elegant dress, but gently worn and threadbare in some places. The woman started to speak before I could apologize for the collision. She introduced herself as Désirée Plouffe, daughter of the Count. Her fiancé was detained. Counter-revolutionary actions were given as the reason, but no detailed accusation was presented. Miss Plouffe pulled out an envelope with a note. In a broken voice, she asked me to hand it over to the accused man. I get to choose what to do. "Look, people," I said loudly, "the noble woman seems to be more than the others." I tore up the note and threw it under her feet, because we are all the same. Or I could take the note and promise to help. Ordinary customers in the hall glowered at me. I locked the woman in one of the business rooms and went to the guards. I do not want anyone to accuse me of corruption. That's a good point. We could get accused of corruption, couldn't we? What do we do? It's a moral dilemma. Her fiancé was detained as counter-revolutionary actions were given as the reason, but no detailed accusation was presented. That seems a bit off to me, so I'm going to help her. I was walking down the street then. I remember admiring how Paris is changing. The signs were replaced above the shops. People were taking encrusted furniture out of the noble premises. People loaded these goods into carts, took them away, gave them away. A man came out of a gate with a bottle of wine in his hand and shouted, "It's from Mr. Jacques Murat's basement. Come on, drink with us." I went to drink with them. We spent the whole night in the basement talking about the needs of France. I called the guard, confiscate the wine from the basement for the purposes of the revolution. I told them who I was, and I threatened them with punishment for stealing. They were off as fast as legs could carry them. I advised the owner to hide the valuable things in the countryside. Let's try that. I once witnessed a nasty scene in the yard by the fountain. Several youngsters threw rocks at the well-dressed young man, shouting, "Eat countless, bon appetit!" The young nobleman, driven into a corner, only shielded his face, receiving more bullets that hit not only him but also the windows, breaking into small pieces with the screaming of residents. I picked up some pebbles from the ground and threw them at the Count, and then went away. I've chased away a bunch of kids, dealing them with blows and handing a handkerchief to a young nobleman to wipe the bleeding cuts. I ordered to arrest the teenagers for vandalism. For the Parisians, the time of fear has ended. Yeah, so let's do the right thing. In the square near Notre Dame, I saw a drunk man. He walked the street shouting, "Louts, louts, took over the city," threatening people with an ivory knitting stick. I saw people whispering to each other and showing their fingers at him. The passing washerwoman got him around with a wide arch, and several bricklayers grabbed the stones. So he's going to get lynched. I'm going to walk over and slap him hard. Bash. Sometimes you need a revolution. 4 guardsmen stood at the stall of an elderly man near a newly renovated building, vegetables laid on the countertop, including a few bundles of carrots and lettuce dried in the sun. "You're chasing me away because Mr. Moisson paid you," shouted the merchant, straight into the grimacing faces of the guardsmen. "Nobleman would probably prefer me to sell silverware or antique sculptures, right? But the vegetable dealer lowers the value of his real estate," continued the enraged shopkeeper. Yeah, I think I should leave him alone. These are my starting values. -5 as a revolutionary. Decent common folk. And aristocrats. Oh. I didn't mean that. They should be the other way around, those two. Anyway, we'll see. Day 1 of 44. Let's see if I can survive. Verdicts in the survival mode. There are 2 types of sentences in the survival mode: death penalty or acquittal. Okay. Scores obtained and date. Number of collected scores and days number. Okay. Jury opinion. In survival mode, the verdict in line with the jury's opinion is 60 scores. Keeping order. For keeping order in the courtroom, bonus 25 points are scored. Good lord. So I'm the judge. See what I mean? This is kind of cool, isn't it? Right. I probably should have done the other thing because I don't know. Palpe Fabrice Poli. Treason and corruption. In the docks, it's Matthew Burrell, the former Commander-in-Chief of the National Guard. The defendant stands accused of causing the death of 34 people who took part in a demonstration against monarchic authority. Around 3 p.m., 2 spontaneous groups of protesters stumbled upon each other in one of the streets leading to Palace Vendôme. A quarrel broke out between the supporters and opponents of Citizen Capet, with both sides engaged in a heated argument. None of the involved parties managed to gain the upper hand, and they quickly resorted to name-calling and public threats. Soon after, a National Guard detachment, led by the defendant, arrived in the scene. According to the eyewitness testimony of Blaise Fawcett, Commander-in-Chief Matthew Burrell stood himself between the 2 groups, alone, and attempted to talk sense into them. He was quickly shouted down by the protesters. A few of them vocally accused the Commander-in-Chief of violating their freedom of speech. Scoring unlocked questions. In survival mode, the unlocked questions are scored on a scale of 0 to 100. Quantity of scores obtained is scaled depending on the number of unlocked and all questions. Okay, there's a lot of information here. So initially I thought this guy should die, but now I possibly see survival mode. Yeah, okay. The defendant may introduce himself. "We all know who this villain is." Matthew Burrell, Commander-in-Chief of the National Guard, and shut up already! Let us proceed directly to the testimony. What? I'm confused. I fear I may not be ready for that. Oops. Let's try again. It's not intuitive. I mean, I can kind of see what's going on, but I just don't quite yet know how it works. So I think what I need to do is create a profile. Sim fiction. Then hopefully it will sort of guide me through how the game is played. Developed by Polyslash. Be a lot better if it had voice acting.
Do you hear me? I gave you the best I could. Why did you disown me? I have your blood in my veins. How could you? Do I mean nothing to you? Why did you grieve for him? He was nothing. I am better than he was. People will follow in my footsteps. Father.
Pretty sure he was sat below a guillotine there. Having a good time. Ooh, bit too much of a good time. Remind me next time that I want to stop drinking this cloudy rot gut. Remind me before I drink it. We're disgracing Themis. Haha. Is someone coming? This was bound to happen. I told you. Papa, you said you would go. You promised. Papa had a lot of work. Yes, a lot of heavy glasses. You promised me. I can't anymore. I'm fed up with asking. Mama is angry because... Quiet. Today your favourite son wanted to prove he was more honourable than his father, so he started a fight. A 5-year-old boy, for God's sake. Our neighbours wanted you to explain that to them, but, well, you were fighting for justice and an inn. Damn you, bloody trunk. Mother. Documents and letters. Drag and drop documents to manage their layout. Click to display their contents. Events. React to events. Ignore them. Ignoring them may have severe consequences. Notebook. Review detailed information about current events, fiction, and characters. This is verdict. Consider the effects and decide the defendant's fate. Options. Change the game settings. Hierarchy. Review the current balance of power in Paris and your position therein. Intrigues are complex conflicts between you and another political player. A defeat may turn out to be disastrous for you. Influence points. Influence points are the main currency in the game. Use them wisely. Pay close attention to the changes in your influence and relations with factions. Global modifiers. Some of your decisions and changes in the world of the game may cause global modifiers to come into action. These factors affect relations, reputation, and influence. You can review them in the notebook. What's this then? Make your decision. Each action may require a different number of influence points and have a different chance of success. Consider them carefully. Your addictions are no longer a secret. The fact that other children are bullying your son because of them is a minor problem. But who is spreading these rumors, those rumors? It is likely to be one of their parents. They could have whispered into their children's ears whom they shouldn't play with and why. They might even have spiced up the story with a lie, but who will hear it next? Intimidate parents. Talk eye to eye. Ignore. Who am I talking eye to eye with? It's just gossip. To Judge Alexis Fidel, we have not expected this kind of behavior from your son, although apparently we should have. Innocent child's play turned into an assault on our children. The younger one, Antoine, now has a chipped front tooth. We hope that you will punish your child accordingly. Should the situation repeat itself, we will react more decisively. I am sure we can deal with a gambler and drunkard, even if he is a judge. We will not let our children be hurt. Finding links. Find the correct links to unlock questions for the defendant. Choose a line of inquiry and link it to the right category. Possible mistakes. Questions to reveal 4. While linking lines of inquiry and categories, you can make a limited number of mistakes. If you make too many mistakes, the whole system will become locked. Traps. Some cases may contain traps. Read through the files thoroughly to find the lines of inquiry that are irrelevant. Child's play. Course of events. Question discovered. Okay. Chipped tooth. Well, no. Injured Antoine. Victim. So I've got to reveal 2 more questions. Chipped tooth, victim. So I've got to get 1 more. Fighting children, course of events. All questions unlocked. Okay. Questions for the defendant. Gather information and influence. The jury's attitude is questioning the defendant. How did your play turn into a fight? Ask questions, you have to first unlock them in the inquiry linking. Being the first jury, good graces allow you to find out which way they will sway after you have asked a question. How did your play turn into a fight? Our neighbours, Antoine and Jean, they were saying mean things about you. We were playing guards and they asked me to pretend to be a drunkard, whom they would, you know. You were fighting both of them at once? I had to. Who started the fight? I can tell you who ended it. I think it was me. At least it's honest. I kicked the one on the left and then wanted to get the one on the right, but they ended it. They knocked me to the ground and paid me back for hitting them. Did you really break Antoine's tooth? Frederick is just a child. I don't know. I don't think so. Did you hit him in the face? I think I kicked him, but not that hard. And what exactly were they saying? Are you too drunk to guess? I was not asking you. They were yelling that you are, well, I told them that it's not true, and they started calling me names. They called me a drunkard son. Okay. Relations. Negative relations with factions mean negative consequences for you. Reputation impacts everything in the world of the game. Factions, family relations, the audience's attitude, fervor in the sections, and even the ability to persuade other characters. You have a set number of influence points per day. In the future, you will be able to increase this limit. I have no more questions for him. Punishment. Make the most important decision. Condemn the defendant or deem them not guilty. And then sign it. I'm going to say not guilty. Is my son after all. And there were two of them and one of him. You did well. A man has to defend the honor of his family no matter what. Those children are so small and they already know the truth. The father of my children is a lying, drunken gambler. Bernard used to worship you, but he soon grew up. Now it is Frederick's turn to learn the truth that echoes in the streets. And you, Raymond, you're supposed to be my husband's mentor. This is what you wanted to teach him? How to repeat your mistakes and lose his family? I was unaware that Matilda had such a temper. As was I. We will wait outside, as always.
Paris. Liberté! We were enchanted by the idea of freedom. We could not resist it. Whole families took to the streets. France was never so happy. We were enchanted by the idea of freedom.
Expected sentence. Find out which verdict is expected by the factions and your close ones. So they expect this guy is going to prison. So no one is expecting an acquittal. Neighborhood gossip. In this city, only the dead are free of addiction. What do you care about people's idle gossip? Jean Renard, 40-year-old innkeeper, has been charged with fraud. He is accused of diluting alcohol in his tavern, tricking his clients into paying extra. Guests come with their minds set on a specific goal, getting roaring drunk, but instead of staggering out after drinking 2 pitchers of wine or several pints of beer, they would sit in the inn until morning, still sober and completely penniless. The innkeeper's fraud came to light when one of the customers discovered the scam and caught the tutor in the act. The man entered the host's cellar and witnessed him diluting the alcohol in the barrels with ordinary water. As a result, customers received only 4 parts of what they paid for, and 1 part from the water carrier. Adding water was the method. Supposing the innkeeper was the witness. Diluting alcohol was the method. One more. Customers' drunkenness may be the motive. Difficult times, people like to seek peace at the bottom of a glass. Please introduce yourself. My name is Jean Renard, Monsieur le Judge. Nothing but a fraud. Systematically opposing the opinion of the jury may lead to serious consequences. How long have you been involved in the illegal practice of diluting alcohol? It's not an illegal practice. Everyone adds a bit, do they? In your case, it was a bit of wine in the water, not the other way around. Have you been doing this for a long time? A few weeks at the most. It's been hard to earn a living lately. I used to run an honest business. Pure wine was overspilling the glasses. Is there any proof to support your testimony? He lied to his customers. No reason he wouldn't lie in court. At the moment, they feel like he should be acquitted, but do your clients drink a lot? Tavern regulars usually drink a lot. So you've been selling plenty of wine. Quite a lot, yes. And yet you have been paying taxes on the amount of wine you've bought, not the amount of wine you've been selling, correct? I don't understand. You've been paying taxes on 4 wine barrels, but by adding a quarter of water to each, have actually made the money for selling 5 barrels of wine. That's one way of putting it. Perhaps it's correct. I'm not too good with numbers. You're not good with numbers, yet good enough to have calculated that fraud pays off. I wasn't aware. I will take that answer into account. The judge has exposed the bastard. How did you feel about tricking weary citizens? Terrible, but all I wanted to do was keep my business afloat. Others don't mess around for sure. No diluting would be the end of me. So you decided to commit fraud so as not to lose money. If I lost my tavern, my family would starve to death. Do you have children? I do. 1 son and 2 daughters. Time to start saving up for the dowry. Why don't you send them to work, idiot? Hey, I think he should be locked up now. Please call in Thomas Leclerc. Please introduce yourself. Thomas Leclerc. I'm a regular at Jean Renard's establishment. How long have you suspected that something was wrong with Mr. Renard's alcohol? I became suspicious around a month ago. Plenty of wine jugs were emptied, but instead of getting more drunk, I was just getting sober. I was already dawn when I realized I had no money left on me and I was as sober as a baby. And how was that possible? Back then, I didn't realize customers were being served the proper first drink, then receiving more and more water in the drinks after that. Being slightly drunk, they weren't able to notice the difference. Was it like that every time? Every single time. Mmm. Protocol. Review the trial's records. Verdict form. I'm going to say prison. Send a citizen Jean Renard to prison. Leave the condemned out. Huzzah! Long live pure wine. Moving on. After a trial, click to move to the next part. May I remind you that you promised to join me? I have a feeling that tonight's moon favors gamblers, though it does not favor spouses. God should grace us with wives who understand the importance of an evening game of dice. They should also know that the right amount of wine guarantees a lucky roll. I should go home. Bringing a judge to the game has benefits. Other players will surely not cheat. That's not a strong argument. My name is Jacques Louis David. I am but a humble painter, not a silver-tongued judge. You're our sly politician, Jacques. As a politician, I understand the importance of keeping promises, and you, my friend, are trying to get out of yours. I should go home. Not tonight, Jacques. She seems happy enough. I think I made the right choice. To look after one's family. Late evening, the judge's house. What? Do you not want to berate me like you always do? I'm glad you're home. You are aware that Frederick sometimes imagines you as a deep-sea sailor. He dreams that you would visit distant countries and have wonderful adventures. But he would rather have you by his side on land. We all want that. I don't want to watch the storm blow your lifeboat away and bury it beneath the waves. There are no waves. The storm is getting closer. Dark clouds already hang over the shore. Just wait until they finish building the guillotine. Your oars will break at once, and the waves will take you to a place you'll wish you've never set foot on. A place without us. Your family loves you, but we won't find you in the darkness that's already begun to reach for you. I have to choose an action to see its description. Family actions. Upon returning home, you can decide how you would like to spend the rest of the day. Paragraphs and codes, reading together, evening gambling, or an evening stroll. Let's do reading together. Each action will affect the other members of the family as well as their attitudes towards you. Choose an action from the panel on the left, yes. Each character's attitude can provide you with or deprive you of certain bonuses like reputations or relations with factions. Your youngest son is special. His attitude makes the other family members like you slightly more. Take good care of him. Let's read together. There is nothing like sitting with your family and a good book next to a warm fire, even though some may think it is dull. Yeah, I'd quite like that. So he doesn't like it, but everyone else does. Today, the people of Paris commemorate Jacques Simonneau, mayor of Entambes. I don't know. He was lynched by a furious mob for performing his duties to France. This march shall symbolise the unity of our society and the hope that most violent stage of the revolution is past us. Let's make sure that no other loyal servant of France becomes a victim of such hatred ever again, says King Louis. Simonneau was a good, loyal officer. Those bastards lynched him for observing the law. Will you join me at the march? Yes. We ought to show that we oppose the self-appointed executioners and stand alongside of victims. Wonder why the king has taken the trouble to show up. Louis marching arm in arm with the people of Paris. That is unexpected. Certainly is. King Louis, continue please. I'm merely an observer. Do not change your habits for me. I heard a thing or two about a young and ambitious judge of the tribunal. I was curious whether he is guided by justice or entertainment, as some would say. The king's heard about me as well. Influence points, +3. Alright. Who's this guy? So they're split decision, look. The defendant is Olivier Mugler, 65-year-old master locksmith who is famed among Parisian burglars as an expert on unopenable locks. Last month, he was commissioned by the owners of a Parisian glassworks, Jean-Leroux, Louis Roux and Ferdinand Salan, to construct locks for ornate chests for valuables, presumably as a gift for their wives. The craftsman praised his latest creation as thief-proof. Shortly following their completion, the industrialist houses were hit by a series of burglaries committed by a recent newcomer to Paris, Hector Vian. The thief from Orléans was caught in the act and shot by Ferdinand Salan. An expensive Turgot map of Paris with the houses of the recently robbed industrialist marked on it was found on the deceased. Surprisingly, Salan had given Milo an identical map as an advance payment. This deposit was an addition to the agreed remuneration from all the employers. Map of Paris is evidence. Marks on the map. Evidence. Master locksmith, offender's personality. Famous thief. Accusation. Incorrect link. Series of burglaries. Accusation. Lock construction. Evidence. Famous thief. Lock construction. Course of events. Drunken evening. Course of events. 2 more to discover, and I can only make 1 mistake. Master locksmith. Extenuating circumstances. Famous thief. Evidence, rather. That was more complicated than usual. Robbing the bourgeois is no crime. According to the case file, you are citizen Olivier Mugler. Is that correct? Indeed it is, Monsieur le Judge. May I have a request? I would like to sit down with an old man, you see. Basic recept for the judiciary requires that you remain standing. Do the names Salan, Roux and Roux mean anything to you? Why are you so demanding to harass an old man? They sound like the names of my debtors. Debtors? They are victims of activities that you conducted. You mean locksmithing? Did you know Hector Vian before? This is the first time I've ever heard the name. That is interesting, as you were seen draining several bottles of wine together at the Ginger Margot Inn. Is that a crime? So he just lied. No, but the question is, why are you denying it now? Was your drinking spree just a deception for discussing the burglary? Nobody I had a drink with introduced themselves as Hector. I didn't plan any heist with a Hector, Victor or Hugo. I'm a locksmith and I earn good money from it. Burglaries are for vagrants without jobs. Do you recognize this map? No, I don't recall ever seeing it before. Ferdinand Salan claims that he gave you this map as advance payment for your services. He claims what? That wicked wretch of a second-rate merchant, he gave me a scrap of paper as payment for making 3 locks and says it's supposed to be worth more than 3,000 francs he owes me. An honest labourer is being judged whilst frauds remain at large. Silence. So this map does belong to you. It doesn't. So where is the map that you received from Citizen Salam? I lost it. But it wasn't even worth a loaf of bread, so I surely won't shed a tear. But if you have it, maybe you stole it from me. You better make a note that Olivier Mugler demands remuneration from Rue and Salan. Were you the one who marked the addresses of the 3 victims on the map? I didn't mark anything. The houses of your clients are marked on the map. I don't know who marked them. Maybe you should ask the person you found the map on. Maybe the court made the marks and has no memory of doing so. Do you not think there are too many coincidences in your story? You obtain the map but lose it, then it's found on the thief who has robbed your clients. I know nothing of coincidences. I only make locks. He's just denying it, and there's no evidence to suggest that he's guilty. Did you tell Hector Vian how to open the victim's trunks? I understand what you're implying, but consider this. If he sold the secret of my locks, then the business would be over. Word spreads fast among thieves. How much did you charge for your services? 3,000 francs. Tidy sum, that is. If you were a master locksmith, you'd charge that much too. That is quite a substantial fee. Indeed, that's how much it costs to have high-quality locks made by a master with nearly 50 years of experience. Those bastards never paid me a single franc. The victims did not pay you the agreed amount, not a franc. I'd bet that money right out of them. But I'd beat that money right out of them, but I'm too old for that. Rumour has it that you're one of the best locksmiths in Paris. I should deny it for modesty's sake, but I will not. That cannot be true, though. As a random thief from Orléans was easily able to open your locks. Well, then he must have been one of the best thieves in Orléans. Let's be serious, Monsieur le Judge. Every lock can be picked with the right talents, even my locks. Did you give him the map? I gave nothing to Achilles, Hector, or any other Greek. Call in the witness, Citizen Jean Rude. Jean Rude in the flesh. Will you not speak unless called upon? Naturally, of course. What went missing during the burglary? My house was the first one to be robbed. How does he know that? And in my case, it was mostly valuables. At Rue's house, he will not say it himself, and I do not want to go to prison. It was the letters he had exchanged over the years with King Louis. Damn monarchist. Solan did not lose a thing. He shot that vermin in the act. That is what he said. What happened to the items he had stolen? That still remains unknown. According to Solan, Hector had nothing with him. Ferdinand suspects he had hidden the other valuables somewhere. He hid the other items before robbing the last house. Strange. Advance payment in the form of a map, its disappearance, the murder of a burglar, and a lack of payment for services. I do. Oh, shit. I didn't read it. I do not. What are you mumbling? If I say something, will I be free? He knows something. Please testify what you know immediately. That map was Solan's idea. He told the thief about the advance payment we gave the locksmith and proposed that Hector steal it. And he did? Indeed, but then the bastard robbed us. Later we were forced by Solan not to pay the locksmith because he sent the thief after us. And that's when it all went down the drain. That's bourgeois for you. He fooled them all in one fell swoop. It sounds like Citizen Solan had everything planned. However, there's no evidence to support the claim. Perhaps it is Citizen Rude that is plotting against his partner and wants to frame him. And Vian is dead, so he will not be able to shed light on any of this. If I was younger, I'd give that Solan a drubbing, that pig, that good-for-nothing lying bastard. Please restrain yourself. The testimony of a witness is still not evidence, neither of Citizen Solan's guilt nor of your innocence. You were commissioned by the victims to make chest locks? Who installed them? It was me, naturally, and all in an agreement with the contract. My job was to prepare and install the locks, and the employer was only to come see whether the work was completed and pay, of course. Was the installation carried out at your workshop? No, on site at the client's property. None of those idlers bothered to deliver the trunks to my workshop, so I had to strain my old legs. Does that mean you knew the addresses of the victims? How else would I get there? Blindfolded and on a wagon? Rude. I think he's innocent. The verdict for Citizen Louis Mugler is not guilty. Leave the defendant away. Bravo, Mugler! Away with the bourgeois! To be honest, this does bear the marks of social justice. They would not pay him, so he had them rob. There is balance here. That was a tricky one.
King Louis XVI. There were people who truly loved him. He reminded the French they had noble ancestors. Do not be manipulated by people who are not bearing the burden of responsibility. This saddened me. Someone had advised him to say that. Someone who was well aware of the cold, inevitable wind of change. I did not pity the king, but those who will come after him, as they will not have great ancestors.
One of us. Frenchmen marched in the streets of Paris side by side, one line after another, to commemorate Jacques Guillain Simonier, mayor of Etampes, who was murdered by a furious mob, punished for a law he did not enact. but was obliged to observe. Freedom of speech killed him. If we understand this as the right to cast stones, to show one's discontent, the right to murder people because you deem them responsible for your miserable life, surely the people of Paris would prefer if we said that nothing happened. Your son is rather good with the viola. He's both talented and enthusiastic. I would prefer that he was as enthusiastic about the law books I gave him. Maybe his destiny is to become an artist, not a lawyer. Mother likes to hear me playing, and there is nothing more boring than law. See, he would rather let his career rely on the humours of the people. There are many ways to rescue France. Believe me, our country desperately needs something to ennoble it. The power is in the hands of simple, illiterate people. Let him rescue their souls with music. That is better than boring laws and clauses. See what you are doing? You're spoiling my son, my child. I do not have my own children to spoil, so I'm focusing on yours. Speaking of which, oh, no. After various important events, you may find yourself with an action forced upon you. On this day, you will become the victim of your own decisions. Story event, so I must do this. You attended the parade in memory of the lynched official. Oh, positive. Negative. Negative. Stagnant.
That is our new symbol of freedom. You can still smell the fresh wood.
Do you feel free looking at it?
Individuals like us do not need symbols, but France does. Did you hear the news of the day? People are running around like headless chickens and yelling about Louis and his entourage escaping Paris.
So, we will not be enjoying the aroma of fresh wood for long.
Monuments like that are not installed solely for the purpose of punishing thieves or lesser aristocrats.
Do you think it wants to taste royal blood?
Louis's flight was a stupid move, yet it seems it was planned. One of us will sacrifice him. That is, if they catch him.
Is that why Louis visited us at the court? To manipulate us?
Maybe deep in his heart he felt what the builders of the guillotine did. That someone has to be exposed as a traitor, even if there is none.
Welcome, Citizen Fidel. My name is Antoine Quentin Fouquier de Tinville. I am the public prosecutor that has been assigned to assist in every tribunal trial starting from today. I should warn you that I am uncompromising, although I hope that we quickly find common ground. In happier news, the construction of the guillotine has been finished. We may begin using it today. Yes, we've seen it. King is gone. Treason. Anyone with information about his whereabouts should immediately close it to the authorities. Well, we don't know where he is. I have a good relationship with my father. That's good. Death penalty, prison, or acquittal. In the dock is Lucien Blanchot, a resident of the section de Gravilliers, or Mesler. Citizen Blanchot owns several grocery stores. We have received multiple complaints regarding his unfair trading practices, such as selling spoiled fruit, price speculation, and the violation of legal price limits. Mr. Blanchot has denied all the accusations, but my investigation at his stores revealed at least some of the complaints to be justified. He claimed that the prices were inflated due to employee mistakes and that spoiled produce was about to be disposed of on the day of inspection. It must be noted that when the inspectors pointed out his transgression, Blanchot scolded his employees and readily set about restoring order at his stall. A young merchant and staunch supporter of the Jacobin, he has connections with Morat and Robespierre, or so he claims. So far, he has managed to get away with all his shady dealings, so there may be some truth to his boasting. Customer complaints, that's the accusation. Rotten apples as evidence? No. Employee mistakes. Extenuating circumstances. Legal price limits as evidence. Poisoning customers. Accusation. His connections, personality. Counter-revolution. I don't understand the link between the last one, but okay. I bought carrots from him myself. Please introduce yourself. Mr. M. Blanchot. Occupation? Currently merchant. Also temporarily a prisoner. You stand accused of price speculation, breaking legal price limits and selling produce unfit for consumption. Is that all? I asked the court to deliberate poisoning of Parisian citizens to the list of charges. Poisoning? Stale vegetables never killed anyone. So you admit to the other charges. I'm an honest entrepreneur. My business will not be harmed by such allegations. I see. We've analysed your ledgers and discovered that you have been violating legal price limits on a regular basis. Do you deny this accusation? These ledgers are kept by ordinary people who are prone to making mistakes, so we'll analyse them again and make proper amends. But you are not an administration office, Citizen Blanchot. These ledgers in their current state are evidence for the court. Those are mere accounting errors. A zero or a decimal put in the wrong place by mistake. It can all be explained. After all, we are not friends of France here. Are we not all friends of France here? Citizen Robespierre has assured me that we are. Citizen Robespierre also assured you that you can get away with falsifying records. Of course not. So why did you mention him? Robespierre isn't a lackey of concierge like him. Silence, or I will adjourn the proceedings. They bribed the judge as well. Do you admit to selling spoiled produce? That has already been established by the inspectors. There's no need to go over the matter again. Answer the question. Yes and no. Yes, because I admit that such things have been reported at my stalls. No, because it was not my fault. And whose fault was it then? I cannot be held accountable for nature not creating all apples equal. Apples are not citizens of France. But you are the owner of this business, and you can be held accountable for the produce that you sell. I've never forced anyone to buy anything from me. So your customers consciously purchase spoiled food? They will buy carrots as black as coal if you lower the price by a few francs. But they still expect them to taste as though they were fresh out of the ground. He insults the people. Throw the scoundrel in chains. Could you explain why there have been so many complaints over the years? Maybe it's because most of those complaints have been nothing but nonsensical claims from jealous loafers. Are you so convinced that Marat and Robespierre will protect you? I'm convinced that the law will protect me. Justice is on my side. What do you mean? The law is supposed to protect the innocent. I should be on the side of those who are wronged. Spare us the speech. This is not a session for the National Convention. Did anyone understand any of that? Forgive me, my soul cries out for justice, so the statesman you mentioned, Marat and Robespierre, will not have to deliver justice on my behalf. Seems your employees are rather prone to making mistakes. I would do everything myself if I could, but that's impossible. Was no one in Paris competent enough? Do you think so little of your fellow citizens? Well, most people are adults. The very fact that I must defend myself in court attests to that. Did the defender offer adequate instruction to his subordinates? I own a chain of grocery stores, not a parish school for the dim-witted. I mean, he's a knob, isn't he? I think he's going to get away with it, though. With regard to the violation of legal price limits, before Monsieur le Judge asks, let me make one thing clear. Legal price limits were never deliberately broken at my stalls. I find such accusation to be malicious and vile. Objection! You only corrected the prices upon the arrival of the inspectors. He deserves to rot in prison. The inspectors imposed a substantial fine on me that I paid without delay. I have already suffered the consequences of my negligence. A fine won't stop him from peddling rotten tomatoes. Did you know that your produce made your customers sick? If anyone can prove that my produce was at fault, I would gladly cover the cost of their treatment or their funeral. You need only come forward. Try it in that muck yourself and you'll have your evidence. Let's remind you that witness testimonies will be taken into account. It was not selling people shit. It was selling people shit, not food. Testimonies of jaundiced people who will do anything to hamper a wealthier man's work. Worthy evidence indeed. Oh, look, it's gone right down to the middle. Well, if I send him to prison, everyone's going to be disappointed, but equally so. Prison for you, my man. You are guilty. Sort of. Approve the report. I'm trying to. Did the defendant confess to the crime? Yes. Was this counter-revolutionary in nature? Was his act counter-revolutionary in nature? Yes. Was the defendant entitled to the fines issued? Paid immediately. How does the defendant explain his disregard for legal price limits? Written mistake. I sentence you to prison. Neither condemned out. See how fresh he stays behind bars. I have friends in high places. I will be set free in a matter of days. You, on the other hand. 3 out of 4. Good job. Did the defendant confess to the crime? Why have I got a red strike through that? He said that the apples were sour and that he was accidentally overcharging. So he did admit to it. So he confessed to the crime. Or he confessed at least that his staff had caused that to happen accidentally. Not that it was his fault. But he confessed that his company, his business, had indeed done it. Due to the establishment of a revolutionary tribunal, we need to prepare an official stamp. I was told to ask you, citizen, because President de Voyer is indisposed. How much did he drink? He was not able to say. Shall we? Boom, 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 boom. Le coq sportif. Nice. Thank you for your time. I know it's late. The stamp should be ready tomorrow. Good night. Good night. Playtime with the children. Your wife's needs can wait. That cheered him up. That cheered her down. And cheered him right up. Perfect. Well, one of my sons is happy. That's good. Tragically, we are losing control of the streets. People feel betrayed by the king, and some believe him to be a spy trying to elude justice. Special means are recommended when suppressing unrest. We only need an opinion from the judges to make sure we are working legally. In other words, you need their blessing to shoot at protesters. People can't control their emotions and are hurting other citizens as a result. Look at the windows. Next time they might do something worse than just throw rocks. It pains us to see unrest growing in the streets of Paris. Commander-in-Chief Borrell's informed us that the guard is no longer able to control the situation through peaceful means. It is recommended they be allowed to use more immediate measures to protect the innocent civilians. But we'd like to know, yeah, absolutely. Protect the innocent. Stamp it. It's a nice little animation. That's cool. Le Coq Sportif. Let's hope it's not too late to stop this madness. That's an interesting euphemism for musket fire. The mob wanted to act as both judge and jury again and hang people from the street lamps. Poor Pochard was almost hanged. Pochard? Claude Pochard? Exactly, the beloved tutor of your Frederic. You had to dismiss him after the incident with the oath of the clergy, did you not? Yes, Frederic tells me from time to time that he misses his teacher. What are you doing? The trial is about to begin. It's about Monsieur Pochard. News travels fast. He's been accused of counter-revolutionary activities. You know him. It can't be true. It's not so simple. Leave before somebody hears us. Papa, please. Go home. Think about the family for once at least. Papa! Nicole? Papa! Nicole. Right. I'm going to leave it there, guys. That's a whole hour I've spent on the game. I'm liking it. It's interesting. It's totally unique gameplay. And I'm curious to see where it goes. And I'm curious to see how long I can last. It's a good indication of what politics is like. Damned if you do, damned if you don't. I think what you have to do is you have to pick early on what your morals are and stand by them. And that's about all you can do. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Until next time, take care. Goodbye for now.